Picture the scene, Dub Nation. It's a clear night in San Francisco, the Chase Center glowing in blue and gold as its reflection dances across the bay, and thousands of fans dressed in team colors make their way toward the arena. The air is filled with expectation, but also with awareness. Everyone knows Stephen Curry can still create magic with the ball in his hands, but time comes for all, even for the greatest shooter the NBA has ever seen. And while Curry prepares for yet another season of brilliance on the court, behind the scenes, inside the franchise offices, the Golden State Warriors front office is playing a different game. A long, quiet chess match that could shape not only the present, but more importantly, the future. In recent months, the franchise proved it still hungers for titles by acquiring Jimmy Butler in a blockbuster trade that shook the market. Butler, known for his intensity, his almost obsessive work ethic, and his status as one of the great clutch performers of the last decade, quickly signed a 2-year max extension with the Warriors. But that extension wasn't designed only to guarantee immediate stability. Its length was carefully calculated to line up with Stephen Curry's contract, expiring in 2027. That's no coincidence. This synchronization is a deliberate move by management, one that keeps the current championship window open, while preserving flexibility for what comes 2 seasons from now. It's a strategy that shows how today's Warriors live in 2 worlds. The now, with Curry, Butler, and Draymond Green still positioned to fight, and the tomorrow, when a new era must inevitably begin. While the veteran trio carries the weight of experience and keeps the team in contender conversation, the back offices breathe planning and calculation. The latest subplot is Jonathan Kuminga, the 22-year-old forward who, in theory, should be one of the cornerstones of the future. Kuminga turned down a $75 million offer from the franchise, and that decision shed light on how the Warriors are approaching their payroll. Despite still playing not just about how much money is offered, but when that money might compromise the team's flexibility. Journalist Sam Amick of The Athletic spelled out clearly, the concern is not only the value, but the length of the deal. In 2027, the front office wants to be free of heavy commitments. At that point, only 2 players are projected to have relevant contracts. Moses Moody at $13.4 million, and Buddy Hield with a $10 million player option. This clean slate is no accident. It's a path carefully paved toward a monumental opportunity that may arise. Giannis Antetokounmpo and Nikola Jokic, 2 of the greatest players of their generation, both holding player options for the 2027-28 season. Now think about what that means. Giannis, with his absurd athleticism, relentless defense, and ability to dominate the paint like few in history, could hit the market. Jokic, the Serbian who reinvented the center position with his vision and near magical passing, could also test free agency. And the Warriors, if they maintain their financial discipline, will be in the right place at the right time, with the space to offer a maximum contract. It's almost a Hollywood script. The greatest shooter of all time, in the twilight of his career, passing the torch to one of the brightest stars of the next generation. A transition that would not only guarantee relevance, but also open the door to writing a new golden dynasty. But before they get there, the Warriors still have a lot of basketball to play. Butler arrives to take on the immediate role of Curry's partner, sharing offensive responsibilities and providing the competitive fire that has so often allowed him to carry teams in decisive moments. At 35, he may no longer be the same explosive athlete he once was, but his game intelligence, defensive prowess, and locker room presence cannot be underestimated. Draymond Green, meanwhile, no longer has the same stamina, but he remains a defensive heartbeat and the coach's extension on the floor, dictating rotations, communicating plays, and keeping the team's identity intact. Curry, even at 37, continues to defy logic, averaging close to 25 points per game and hitting over 40% from 3. He remains the offensive epicenter. With every shot, every sprint around screens, every grin after another impossible 3 swishes through the net, he reminds the world why he changed basketball forever. But the signs are there. Father Time is undefeated, and while Curry might be an exception to many rules, he knows retirement is not far away. And that's where the front office's reasoning gains strength. This isn't the first time a championship franchise has had to plan the succession of its greatest star. The San Antonio Spurs did it by preparing Kawhi Leonard to inherit Tim Duncan's mantle. The Los Angeles Lakers manage their books to create the space to bring in LeBron James in 2018, setting up an almost seamless transition back to contention. The Warriors now aim to be in that same league, not waiting for the decline to happen before reacting, but preparing in advance for the next move. In Kuminga's case, his refusal doesn't close doors, but it forces the franchise to be even more strategic. He could be an important piece in the immediate future, someone capable of defending multiple positions and, if his offensive game continues to develop, becoming a secondary star. But the priority is not jeopardizing 2027. Every choice, every line written into contracts, points to that same destination. If Giannis becomes available, imagine what it would mean to place him alongside the winning mentality already embedded in Golden State. A player capable of attacking the rim with ferocity, guarding 5 positions, and bringing the same competitive hunger Butler embodies. If Jokic is a name, the vision shifts, but is no less terrifying. The big man who transforms offenses with his passing could reinvent the game yet again, this time within a franchise already accustomed to changing paradigms. Until then, the Warriors must keep navigating the present. Butler is expected to play around 34 minutes a night, often carrying the team when Curry rests. Kuminga, if he stays, will be pivotal in small ball rotations, where versatility could be a major weapon. Draymond, though limited physically, still anchors the defense. And Curry will still be Curry until he isn't anymore. This entire plan is a powerful reminder that basketball is not only played on hardwood, it's in financial math, the contract projections, the whispers in the background where the champions of tomorrow are often built. The Golden State Warriors know they cannot afford to live only in the present. They've already been a dynasty, already claimed 4 titles in 8 years, already etched their name into history. The challenge now is to remain relevant even after their historic pillars retire. And that's exactly what this plan shows. The franchise is willing to think big, to prepare the ground for something that, if it happens, could be even greater than what came before. A bet on the present, with Butler, Curry, and Draymond carrying the torch. But a silent promise that 2027 could be the year the Warriors rise again in spectacular fashion. When the camera closes in on Curry's face, smiling after yet another impossible 3, you don't just see a player, you see a legacy and at the same time, a slow farewell. On the other side, when you picture Giannis storming down the floor in a Warriors jersey, or Jokic whipping passes through traffic at the Chase Center, you can glimpse a new era. That's what keeps fans dreaming. The present is still bright, but the future could be even more golden for the Warriors.